Oh, new Microsite. Look at that. I usually do things macro, but they're microing it up. We got our beautiful Kali picture. Play free. The thing I'm allergic to. My sense of language is twisted. I'm sorry. I can't get over this is like a bad translation of, of a different language. I know this is like industry standard, but I don't like it. It makes it look cheap to me, but yes, Kali, Wind of Vengeance. Wongstorrent story opening for business. I notice it's gonna be this is gonna count, I guess, as the event preview, I'm guessing. And then the full patch notes should come out on the 13th. Probably end of day 13th. And then during the patch day of the 14th, we'll be going over all of the patch notes in detail. Of course, we already know a lot of what's coming because of Korea. But there's a little bit of an interesting twist here, because they are adding something that I don't think was announced until quite a bit later for KMS. And we are seeing it here in the preview for the second part, so let's see about that. Comes to pre-save your login rewards. That's what we're doing now, isn't it? I think we got the Nodestone today. We got the rock already. We got these 3 things. This is every day, so these are the things that are to come. They had their own page, which you've indubitably read about. Oh, you see, this is the new login. Oh, with the new attacks, the 4th job attack, and the dash. You can kind of make her disappear and come back. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so what do we have left? The nodes was today, at least for me. And then we have the hat. Selector coupons. Used to receive one of the following. I don't know why they updated this. Was that not clear from this? I thought it was pretty clear. Extreme Growth Potion times 5. VIP face and hair. And then final reward, the double rings. Yes. The Kali itself arrives on June 27th, it says here. On the... It said 28th on the... That's interesting. It said 28th on the patch, on the test server. And the 27th would be, if I'm not mistaken, a Tuesday as well. No, is it a Monday? No, 14th is... Oh no, yeah, that's a Tuesday. Events usually start on Wednesdays, so it would be interesting if it would be actually on the 27th, or maybe they mean in America it would be the 27th. When it's server time, I think it would be the 28th. We'll see, but, you know. Since this is something that is going to go live during the event time, this is probably not going to be precedented by a patch or a maintenance, and it's probably going to be like right at reset, boom, creatable, loginable, playable type of deal. It's a thief, main stat luck. The link skill is a little bit of damage and a little bit of healing. Not very good for GMS because we have healing femmes. So it's not going to, link skill is not going to probably make the charts, but it will have luck in the Legion piece. So if you're a main luck character or intellect character, I guess, and you want some secondary stat, you'll definitely want this. Well, we already played the test server, so we already know all of these skills. Crescentum is a very important skill, even though it might seem like it doesn't do much, because it allows you to reset your Void Rush. You can dash up to 3 times at the higher levels with Void Rush, and then reset so you can dash up to 6 times. And this skill also has a pretty short cooldown, and so does this one. So you'll have a very high chance of just keep on dashing all over the place. If you've seen those videos of high-level Kali that are dashing all over the place, killing 2 or 3 maps at once, that's because of just these 2 skills combined. Chakras seem very weak and like they won't do much, but this is where a lot of your damage will come from later on in the game, min-maxing, creating as many chakras as you can, and having them blow up on bosses and on mobs. And then this skill is just really cool looking. So you send these chakram out, and then if you jump back, they will follow you as well, but only to a certain distance. So you can't throw these out and then like triple dash in the other direction and have them drag through the entire map, and that won't work. They don't want to have Blaze Wizard shenanigans again, where people send out the orb and then use the map teleporter and then have the orb go through the entire map and kill everything. They had to nerf that as well. Wongstrand is going to be massive. It's probably going to be the biggest like seasonal / anniversary event thing ever. It's going to have like every single mini game we've ever had and then some, and it's going to have a whole what's called a power week with all sunny Sundays, like back to back to back to back. So it's going to be sunny Monday, sunny Tuesday, sunny Wednesday, that kind of thing. If they do the same thing like in Korea, we'll probably see it once the patch notes hit. But it's going to be a super busy week with all of the events slammed together right back to back. What party skills does she have? I honestly don't think she has any party capability. I don't think she even has a debuff that helps party members. But that's what thieves generally are. Thieves are generally very selfish. That's why Shadower is such an exception. Because it actually has smokescreen. Whew! Weapon is two-handed or one-handed? It's two-handed. You won't be able to use a shield. You can see that she holds a weapon in both hands, so it counts as two-handed weapon. Not even a bind? No, not even a bind. You have to use a you have to use Urdanova for her bind. And then level faster on the Arcane River. So, you know, we already know this from Korea, but basically... Oh, the percentages are here. Okay, that's nice. So going from 220 to 259, requiring less EXP, ranging from 19% reduction at level 220 to 3% reduction at 259. So this will also mean that if you have not extreme growth potions, well, also extreme growth potion, but if you want to use any kind of EXP potion that would give you EXP from levels past 220, you want to use those before the update, because your percentage will be updated based on your EXP at the moment, and it might cause you to level up when the update goes live. So if you, let's say you have like 98% at level 252 or something, there's a good chance that you log back in and that you end up at 100%, you kill one thing, you level up, and then you end up at level 253 with, I don't know what the exact numbers are going to be, but anywhere from like 2%, right? You won't be at like 0.0001. You could be at 2%, or you could be all the way up at like 30%. I don't know exactly how the stuff is going to move, but because of course the percentage is much higher of how what is left at the high levels, and you need way more, just proportionately way more EXP to level at those, like in the 250s than you do in the 220s, of course. So how much exactly is going to bleed over, we'll have to see. But make sure that if you have Magnificent Growth Pots or something that you're trying to use on a character above 250, use them before the update to get slightly more EXP out of them than after. So increase daily quest rewards. Daily quests now reward more arcane symbols. It's a little bit sneaky though, but the daily quest, so we'll have all the numbers worked out soon, but basically the dailies are going to give more symbols, but that's because the secondary dailies that are like the little puzzle mini games in Arcane River are going to move from daily to weekly, and those are going to give on average less per week than they do now. So the dailies are going to give more, so that on average you can get the same amount of symbols in a week, but the amount of time that you spend per symbol is going to go way down. For example, the Choo-Choo regular dailies now that give 8 symbols are going to go from 8 to 16, but Hungry Muto, that now if you do it on hard mode can give you 15 a day, will now give you 15 per run, but you can only do 3 runs per week, so it's going to give you 45 versus where now it can give you 105. So the extra 60 is going to come out of the dailies because it gives 8 times 5 is 56. So you get 4 symbols less, I believe, or around there, per week. But you only have to do Hungry Muto one time and then be able to auto skip versus having to do it one time and auto skip every single day. So you're going to save more time. And it's also going to allow you to power up and get more symbols, even if you're just doing those mini puzzles on all of your characters on your account or on way more characters. So your total arcane power, your entire account is going to go up, making the level of funding that you will need for your boss meal specifically a lot lower, because you can get way more stat way more easily from doing symbol dailies for a longer period of time. You can still party play. Yeah, you can still party play. So the main thing is that, yeah, for Lacaline, Lechelin. Oh, they're forgetting an E there. Is that it's going to be called Midnight Chaser now. Basically, you just get a bunch of pictures. Well, you get like one picture, and there's 9 in total, and there's just 9 maps, and every map has an object in it, and you just have to go to the map that has the object, kill all the monsters in the map, and it'll clear that map. Every single time you go in, it'll reset where all of the items are, but once you're in one run, the items will stay in its place. So if you go to a map and it's the wrong object, but you remember where it is, which is harder than you think, at least for me, it was pretty hard to remember where everything was, then you can just get through it really, really quickly. It takes like a few minutes, and also just 15 symbols per run, and then 3 runs per week. And for Spirit Savior, you will get kicked out now if you hit 10k, and the run will like instantly be over, but the amount of points that you get per spirit is going to be slightly more forgiving. So it's not like, oh, if you have 3 spirits, you get like almost no points, and then 4 and 5s are all the points are. Like 3 is going to be like 2 is going to be higher, 3 is going to be higher, 4 is going to be higher, and 5 is going to be the same. So if you're not quite good enough to always get the 5 and always hand in the 5, if you hand in like stacks of 3 or 4, you'll get to 10k much more easily after the update. So to be more forgiving there as well. And that's also 15 per run. I'll probably check down the exact numbers for all the dailies on my Mulina test server just to have them written down somewhere. But just remember, roughly the same amount of symbols per week, but the amount of time per symbol way less, and therefore scaling up on doing it on multiple characters is going to be super valuable. Hyperburning and Burning World, of course, you know, Burning World is not that important for us playing a reboot, but for non-reboot is huge. You also get bigger hyper burn rewards on there, and your regular mega burns in Burning World. So if you're playing a non-reboot, it's an easy way to get like 1k Legion for free. And yeah, Burning arrives on June 14th, and we already talked about how to find your hyper burn. I uploaded that new video, so you already got some views. People checking it out, that's good. I saw 30 comments as well, so I'll dig into the comments and try to help people out. Big changes for better Maple. That's not all. More changes are coming with the Savior update to make MapleStory experience even better. Star Force enhancements. Yeah, so no more boom or drop below 15, which means that transfer hammering for your first step, like 16 to 15, 16 to 17 during a 5, 10, 15, that's probably going to be completely out the window. You just hold onto your item, wait for a 5, 10, 15, and then do it straight up on the item. Or 30% off to get the item itself to 15, and then wait for 5, 10, 15 to do the last 2 stars. No more need to transfer hammer in that low range. That also means that you're not as pressed anymore to hold on to an insane amount of items in your inventory at the low level, and you can leave that for a bit later, so that's nice. New 5th job skills for Kinesis and Zero. That's going to be pretty big for those classes. I would say probably 2 of the classes that have been a little bit left behind, and now it, you know, it shows why. The other 2 classes that didn't have their extra skill and needed to wait quite a while for that was the Anima, right? Like the Flora and, sorry, not Flora, the Laura and the Hoyoung. But of course that skill was a little bit of a disappointment for them. It's better than nothing, but, you know, barely. Improved character stat UI, so that's going to have attack power and magic attack on it. It's going to show specifically, I showed this in the test server as well, but it shows specifically where from which sources everything is coming, and that what your percentage multiplier is as well, and what your total weapon attack on your character is as a result. I will probably find some way to include this in the progression grid, but I'm still kind of puzzled as to why, because as to how, because weapon attack is not the same for everyone, right? This is why when it comes to the weapon flame, I use the tier system instead of just the flat attack, because, you know, 80 attack on a claw is not the same as 80 attack on a staff, for example, right? It's a really big difference in terms of how good that is and quality of how expensive it is to make that upgrade. So we'll have to kind of wait and see if we apply some multipliers onto it, if we just give the number and then give the caveats that if you are, you know, maybe a range, we'll have to see. The thing is though that it's really only from your weapon is like the main thing, and then other than your weapon, everyone else gets the same weapon attack for all the other things, right? This is one of the reasons why Nightlord scales so well, is because it has a huge weapon multiplier, and Nightwalker as well, right? Claw is a huge weapon multiplier. Why? Because its base attack is so low. But if your base attack on your claw is only like 5% of your total attack on your entire account, and that gives you a better multiplier for all of those other things, and you scale like a motherfucker. So that tends to be what's going on there with those. So does that necessarily mean that, you know, you'll be like 200 lower? But 200 lower when your total is 400 is very, you know, very significant. But if your total is like 5,000, then it becomes less and less significant. So we'll have to kind of do some research on that and see how we're going to do that. And more, yeah, more stuff. Cool beans. And then coming up soon on July 19th, so I'm guessing that the first update will be June 14th to July 19th, which is 5 weeks, which would make sense because we believe that the total update is gonna, the last update, last day of the update is gonna be August 29th. So it would make sense that it is, it's a total of 11 weeks. So the first part 5 weeks, second part 6 weeks, makes sense. It's about the halfway mark, right? You can't really split it in half weeks. But it will have Shangri-La, which has the new boss Kaling in it, which is going to be crazy. Oh, there we go. New boss Kaling, the 3 perils. Yeah, very interesting looking boss. First phase, you divide your party into 3 groups of 2, and every group of 2 has to fight one of the perils as a duo. And then you fight Kaling, and then you come together as a party. And then the last phase, you fight Kaling and the 3 perils all at once, which is looking like it's absolute mayhem. So should be fun times. Also, you know, sacred power requirements through the roof. So good luck to everyone on that part of the that part of the game. But also Guild Castle, and I wanted to look at that really quickly. Because that is something that probably, you know, you've seen in some videos here and there, and I've talked about it before, of course, because it is already something in Korea. It's not called Guild Castle. What is it called again in Korea? I wonder if they named it. Maybe we should have opened this before the stream. Is it Guild Hangout? Guild Keep or something? I don't know what they called it again. Oh, was it part of Shangri-La? No, it wasn't. Test server for Shangri-La and Kaling. Don't worry, I asked my editor to put this part out. What's that? I'm my own editor? Oh. I'll just go through the last updates, I guess. Computer, museum. Patch preview. Spiegella's farm. Was it part of here? No. Wait. Okay. This is why I'm not finding it. It wasn't KMS content. It's It's not from KMS. It's from a different region, right? It's from was it CMS? Oh yeah, someone is saying CMS, yeah.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? It is Arne back with another video, and today we're gonna take a look at the brand new content, New Castle.
It's basically like a destroyed castle. You get yourself a storyline. And you got this big dragon dude. You have to revive the big old crystal, and then, you know, this dragon dude comes back. I think you have to show him who's boss by defeating him. And then you get defended by some bird. There seems to be... Yeah, so there seems to be storage. Wonder how that's going to work for Reboot, but there seems to be castle storage. So you can, like, help other people out. I wonder how that's going to work for Reboot specifically, because, you know, no trade and everything. It would be pretty wild if you end up, like, I don't know, being able to put stuff in there that you could put into regular storage. But I think the whole idea behind it is that you, through like quests and challenges, you kind of spruce up the whole guild castle and make it look amazing. And of course, for everyone to have a guild hangout, have a place where you can have all your stuff. Yeah, I think he says it's. I think it says CMS, right? Yeah, CMS. So it's CMS content, but it's pretty recent CMS content. So it's interesting to see that it's already they're already getting it that quickly. But yeah, everyone gets a dragon, you know. So that's going to be cool to look forward to, exactly the translated notes and what exactly is going to make it over, because it is overseas content, so it might not copy one for one. And also because it wasn't CMS, we don't know all the ins and outs exactly. Usually it's a little bit more vague when it is content from all the way over there. Because yeah, we're pretty separated as communities. But yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to for July 19th. Some more guild stuff, big boss. But it's mainly going to be a continuation of, you know, finishing up your Hyperburn, leveling up your Kali. And yeah, so make sure you start thinking about what you want to Hyperburn. Maybe even get your Hyperburn ready before the Kali comes out, so you can fully dedicate to the Kali when she's out. Make sure you keep logging in, getting your login rewards. And yeah, have fun with the Wongstern. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a lot of stuff to do. And there's a lot of level up potions. Not a lot of extreme growth potions. That was mainly this event, so hopefully you got a lot of gains for your Legion. But this is mainly going to be for your higher level characters and boss mules to get them a bunch of free levels. And hopefully get them into the range of being able to do, you know, Lotus, Damien, and Slime if you're not already doing that. So yeah, just a quick preview on that on the Microsite. And of course, next week, full patch review and all that. And don't forget, in 2 days, less than 2 days, a day and a half, ooh, spooky, we've got the New Age preview coming up with a big concert and a lot of huge announcements, most likely. So stay tuned for that as well. Thanks for checking it out.